split screen. Let's talk about Oklahoma City and Indiana. Series is tied 1-1 as they're going back to Indianapolis. I told you so. I told you that, yes, Indiana won the first game on Halliburton's prayer shot that went in. But I said Oak City's too good to have that impact them. And Oklahoma City came out and just blew them out. And they did it by changing their offense. I looked at it and I said, holy cow, this is a very different Oklahoma City package in game 2 than we saw in the first night. Oklahoma City spread the floor. Oklahoma City had guys running cutters up inside. Oklahoma City started to hit the threes. They shot 59% in the first half of the game. They had streaks of 9-0 and 19-2. Indiana, good night now, before halftime even came. They had a 23-point lead in the first half, and they were just rocking and rolling. And Indiana just kind of got ambushed with the spread package that Oklahoma City threw out there. And at the defensive end, Oklahoma City smothered them defensively. They forced it into a half-court game, and Indiana just had a tough time getting the ball into the rotation to get the quality shots. And they out-rebounded them, too. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 34. How about the bench bunch? Alex Caruso, 6th man of the year forever, and Aaron Wiggins combined for 38 off the bench in that game last night. And the defense, Tyrese Halliburton and his dad, 1 basket in 36 minutes.
And his dad.
36 minutes. And Obi Toppin totally disappeared. He had 1 basket for the entire game. So now, series tied 1-1. So now they're going back. They play Wednesday, I think it is. Oak City at Indiana. I have no doubt Pacers will come out cranked up defensively. They're going to do something. It's like a chess match. So now Rick Carlisle has seen the best that Oklahoma City has to offer, so they'll counteract what Oak City did with the spread package, and they'll come out. And I do think Indiana plays really tough defensive basketball at home. So that's really interesting. Another note, let's talk about the New York Knicks. This whole Tom Thibodeau firing has just left a bad taste in a lot of mouths. But evidently, the owner, James Dolan, held private exit meetings with the star players in addition to Thibodeau's exit meetings. And the star players were critical of the coach. They said the players went to Thibodeau and said, we don't like the lack of rotation. You're asking way too many minutes of the 5 starters. You're not utilizing the bench to try to create matchups, etc. In essence, the players are really upset, and Thibodeau was so stubborn. He would not change his ways. And that's the end result. So he gets fired despite 50 and 51 wins the last 2 seasons. And now we find out nobody wants to work for the New York Knicks and James Dolan. Jay Wright, legendary coach Villanova, whom everybody has said he's going to come back, he's going to coach the NBA, does not want to work in New York for that guy Dolan. Pitino said no out of St. John's. Dan Hurley, UConn, he said no. They decided, okay, we'll go ask permission to talk to other teams' coaches. Dallas said, no, we're not going to give you access to Jason Kidd. And Houston said, no, you can't talk to Ime Udoka. He was just here for his first year, and we had a great season. So it's interesting. The Knicks have not uncovered any potential head coaches at this point. Hot name, assistant coach, Cavaliers, good rep, Johnny Bryant. He might be the fallback guy. But the way they treated Thibodeau's stubbornness to his own players, and the fact that Dolan is always putting his fingerprints on everything. He owns the Garden, he owns the Knicks, etc. It's really kind of a nasty situation. And by the way, TV ratings, I find this hard to believe. Game 1 of Oak City, Indiana, drew 8.9 million. John, it's the lowest TV rating since 1988, the first year they started recording ratings for NBA playoff games. The lowest rating of all time for an Oklahoma City team that everybody says, wow, there's a lot of pizzazz into how these guys are. Either that or nobody likes Indiana. I don't know. So go ahead. feel free. Talk Oklahoma City, Pacers, talk Knicks, talk why you didn't watch it on TV.
I watched it. You know who was really good? It was Alex Caruso. And like, how in the hell did the Lakers give up on that guy? Well, how did he get to Oklahoma? How did that work out?
He went to Chicago first,
Mhm.
and then he was an integral guy coming off the bench because the Bulls weren't very good. Goes to Oklahoma City as a plug-in. He and Hartenstein, the ex-Bulls backup, both wound up in Oak City. Look how valuable they are coming off the bench. Sexy name? No. Ugly-looking player? Hell yes. Productive?
Yes,
Damn right.
Very, very productive.
So that's where we are.
Yeah. So, I think the Pacers have got to be happy. They snuck a win out of Oklahoma City, so they go home. They've got home field advantage or home court advantage now. So if they can hold serve, they're going to be in a good spot. But, the TV ratings, we kind of knew they weren't going to be that great, because these are two middle America teams. And besides, Knick fan is still bitter that they didn't make it. So the TV market in New York is probably not tuned in as much. Yeah, exactly. So we kind of knew that going in. But the whole Knicks coaching thing, it just is a cluster. But, if I'm, running a big time program like, Patino or Hurley over at UConn, I'm not walking away there. I'm king of the world there. I'm making a ton of money there. I'm a dictator. When I come to the Knicks and, you got to play second fiddle to some of the big game stars and all that pressure on you as a Knick coach. I think you got to find a guy that's going to be a hot name rising rather than trying to get some big name veteran.
And the fact you really want to work for James Dolan?
Well, what's so bad about him?
With apologies, he's got a crap reputation of being surly and erratic as a person. And we're not talking about a great owner here. Yeah, he might be rich. Dolan family owns the Knicks, owns the Garden and all that. But any track record of success? No, Thibodeau got them where they'd never been. First time in 25 years.
It's like the Chargers firing Schottenheimer, So I'm not sure what they're going to do here, but to me, why would you fire a coach? Even if there's frustration, you've gotten to a point where, like you say, you've never been before. And Thibodeau clearly cares about what he's doing. You think he probably would make some of his own adjustments during the offseason. Just seemed a little rash to kick him out.
They didn't do it during the season. They got to postseason and they won some playoff games against Boston, whom they had not beaten. You could play for the job. You got spare time on your hands. Send me a postcard from Madison Square Garden. Okay, that's all things NBA. You want to talk about the Thunder, the Pacers, feel free, jump on board.